What are your thoughts after that, Billy?
I thought first half we were excellent, Jeff. I thought the team worked very hard to nullify a very good side. We created a host of chances again, scored a very good goal. No doubt we should have been more in front. The game should have been dead and buried at half time. But second half again, you know, people will talk about the second goal, but to be honest with you, I thought we thoroughly deserved the 3 points.
What was your view on the second goal? You were quite close to the incident, weren't you?
Well, it's difficult to see it. I'd like to see it again. And that's me no ducking your question, Jeff. I genuinely would like to see it again. But even without the second goal, I felt very comfortable. There's no doubt they came into it more in the second half. But even so, we still had a lot of very good chances and created a lot of very good stuff at times. And I thought, excellent clean sheet. Another excellent clean sheet. Very important 3 points. And as I said, as long as it keeps us in the mix to January, that was always the target.
4 clean sheets in a row. How significant is that?
Well, when you consider what we're missing, I think it's very significant with Wilson, Cohen, and of course Danny Collins all out injured. Very, very important players, as we all know, and that is significant. But I thought we worked really hard. I thought our shape to nullify a very good side was good, and tactically we were excellent again. And again, we created so many good chances and probably should have scored more goals.
You've talked this season about staying in the mix until January. How important could the transfer window be in terms of your season? And are you looking at top 2?
Well, we are what we are, I think. There's no doubt we're a progressing club, and I've said this before. That I've said to you for weeks and weeks, Jeff, that we're trying to just keep in there. You know, we've been shuffling this back four around now for a number of weeks, which has been very difficult, missing some very important players. Again, tonight you see we've thrown Halford up top because of the injuries and the numbers, and we're doing what we're doing, but we'll get to January. We'll make the recommendations again in January, and we'll see what we can do.
At what stage did you decide to play Greg Halford up front? Did he volunteer?
Well, he's played there before this season. I've said to him before that he's a player that he might as well accept. He's a very good utility player, and over the last 3 games he's played very well at right back. But because of the Coxey virus, I decided that I would put Greg up top for his ability and his presence and his you know, the way he plays the game. He can be very useful up there, and it was a tactical decision we've used before. It's a tactical decision we'll use again. But Greg's very capable of a number of positions, and that's what he does very well.
Does he like it, or do you have to persuade him?
No, he's very comfortable as long as he's in the team, is what he tells me. That was his answer he gave me. But he knows himself that, you know, his performances at right back were very good. He's been involved in 3 very good clean sheets. But sometimes your country comes calling, and when your country comes calling, you just have to do what you have to do.
And what qualities do you feel your team now is going to require in the run-in?
Well, I think that there's no doubt that more firepower would certainly help us. We've been very good at home. You know, people talk about the amount of games we've won at home, and I said before the game that we cannot talk about stats after 10 games, after 20 games. The most important thing is that we get to January. We add some firepower and depth to our squad, and we'll see what the running's all about then. And you know, we won't get excited. It's 3 points. It's December. You know, in the top 5 or top 6, out the top 6. It is what it is. This race will not start until mid to end of January, and then it's game on.
Do you think about Greg Halford as a more regular striker, given if he puts in performances like he did today?
Well, he's been taking a lot of stick by one or two you guys, Ian, not naming names, but one or two of you have been ridiculing Greg Halford's striker option. But thankfully we sometimes know what we're doing in this club, and we know he's a fantastic asset, not only at striker but right back and 1 or 2 other positions. So, you know, I thought he led the line brilliantly tonight, keeping the ball, and his presence was good, scored a great goal. Probably should have scored 1 or 2 more goals, Ian, as you know, but he is what he is. He's a very good utility player, and he's a player that's a great asset in a number of positions. That's exactly what he is.
He seemed to link up very well with Abdul, didn't he, as the goal short? You know, Abdul found him time and again with balls at the box. Halford was there.
That's right, Red. Yeah, that's right. He's got that. I said that to him before the game, that it was a big ask for Greg, because he did play very well in the last couple of games at right back, and he was very comfortable at right back. So to say to a player, you know, I'd like you to change position for me for the sake of the team, and he accepted that really well, I've got to say.
Not many could do it, could they?
Well, that's what he is. He's done it all his career. And I've said that to him. Sometimes you've just got to accept that you're a very good utility player that can play in a number of positions, and it's a great asset to have as a player for a lad. But he's a great lad. He works very hard, and I thought he really helped us tonight with the performance that he put in and the goal that he scored.
It wasn't just the goal, but it was the all-round physical presence he offered against what is the best defence in the Championship.
Ian, don't forget, he's played there many times with a very good Sheffield United team, and he's played there in the past many times. So, you know, people that ridicule Halford don't know what they're talking about. They've got no idea of the game, quite simply. And, you know, he's like everybody else. He has his good days and his bad days. We all do at work, have our good days and bad days. But he's a very honest professional. He's a very hard-working professional. He's got an eye for goal, and he's showed that in the past. And he can be an asset for us. That's the most important thing.
Great to get back to winning ways at home. It's been a bit of a while, hasn't it, Billy? So great to come away with a win tonight.
Red, I'm going to tell you something. It's never at all never concerned me. Never concerned me, because our performances have been very good here. There's no doubt that we have lacked clinical finishing, and we have not been ruthless in front of goal. Like tonight again, where we've created a host of chances, should have scored more goals. Game should have been buried at half time, and that's what we've been doing here. And I would be much more worried if we're not creating chances. Yeah. So all these people that want to talk about stats after 20 games or 10 games or whatever it may be, the time we talk about stats is March. Let's look at March and we'll talk about stats, and then we'll see where the race takes us.
And this is the perfect platform to build on for the Leeds game on Sunday. Another big one match.
All big games, Red. All big games. Me and you'll be saying this right to the very last week of the season. Another big game, Billy. Another big game. So it is what it is. It's a championship. It's very, very difficult league, as you know. Everybody can beat everybody. You know, nobody gets underestimated by anybody. And it is what it is. But, you know, we're pleased with the 3 points. We're not excited about being in the top 6 or out the top 6. We know where we are. We know what we've got to do. We'll keep in the mix hopefully till January. We'll look at the transfer window. Yeah. We'll make the recommendations to the owner, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Take on board what you say about, you know, you never getting carried away, Billy, but going into another game against Leeds now, can it at least be a lift to the players that they've got a win under their belts and, you know, a bit of confidence maybe from this?
Yeah, you don't need to lift players when you've lost 4 games for 22 matches or 21 matches, whatever it is. And out of these 21 matches, we know ourselves we've been very good in games and very unlucky, and at times not clinical enough. So, you know, there's a time when you need to lift the spirit of a team and the spirit of a dressing room. There's never been a time to do that here. Even through the disappointments of 2 defeats in 10, you'll say we've only won X in 10, and you and I, Paul, can dance on stats all day long, back and forward. You can make it look exactly what you think it looks like, and I can make it look exactly what I think it looks like. But the fact is that this team do not need lifted. They're a very good group. They're working extremely hard. There's a great spirit in the camp, and we'll just keep picking off one game at a time. That's exactly what we'll do.
How bad is Simon Cox? Is he going to be out for a few days?
No, he probably could have made the bench tonight, Paul, maybe, and but only got from me 15, 20 minutes out of him. And I said to him this morning just to leave it, because I didn't want to take any chances. So we had him in doing some training, light training tonight, and we'll get him back in tomorrow, and hopefully he'll be available for Sunday.
That was perhaps as well as Jamal Abdou's played since he's been here, Billy. Is he starting to find his feet a little bit, do you think?
Find the culture, find the weather, find his teammates, find the club, the demands of the club and the position they play. You know, he's like every other new player. They take time, especially when they come from a different culture and a different, you know, type of environment. And we've got to accept that every day that goes by we'll get stronger and stronger with a lad, and he'll understand what's going on. But there's no doubt he's got ability. He's now got to find that defensive responsibility. He's now got to find that 90-minute consistency. And like the rest of the players, we'll keep working very hard with him and the other group to keep improving the team as much as we can.
How pleased are you to have got over various obstacles? Your players are getting over the obstacles. You've had a lot of injuries this season, and chances are you won't get as many injuries in the second half of the season as this one.
Well, it evens itself out, Ian, doesn't it, over a season? We know that ourselves, that we have had a lot of injuries. You know, there's no doubt about it. There has been things went against us slightly in certain games that we thoroughly deserved to take 3 points, and you've been here, you've seen it all. But I've said to the players all along, it's a matter of just keep doing what you're doing. Don't get concerned at the moment. We've been too long in the tooth here to worry about top 6 and out of the top 6. We've been too long in the tooth here to concern ourselves with home wins and draws and defeats and God knows what else. It is what it is. It's a championship. It's a marathon. Get in the mix to January. Let's see what happens in the window. And then we'll look at the stats in March and we'll see what goes on then.
Lovely, thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you.